Hi, everyone. As you might know by now, Indigenous and Modern is about connecting the global South and the global North in order to create a more regenerative, more respectful, more healed world, and to shift the systems, to change this old system that doesn't serve us anymore, and to create something aligned with love that can benefit everyone. But first thing to understand about that is actually to acknowledge the truth that exists in the current system. And from that, I would like to discuss with you in this video more about colonialism and about how things happened, especially because I am Brazilian born and raised in the south of the world. So I can talk about that. I did a master's degree in leadership for sustainability at Malmö University in Sweden. And I still remember today I wrote a paper about how the colonialism process destroyed the south of the world. I don't want people to feel guilty about that. I don't want people to feel bad about that. Rather, I want you to see and understand that everything is connected and how this misleading process and appropriation of resources from that happened here in the global south affect also the global north, and the whole planet. Because, from my experience, I met people from all over the world. I met people who are change makers and are into innovation, into sustainability, are people that really want to do good things, But guys, you need to understand something. Everything you do in your everyday life will impact the whole planet. I told you that before. It's like when you throw a rock in the lake. It creates waves, it ripples, It's the same thing. So what I want to say with that is that everything that happens, for example, in the Amazon forest, or the wars in Africa, the hunger in Asia, although it seems like it is so far away from you, and you might never seen a homeless person in your life, you might see you let's say that you never saw a kid asking for money in the streets, but this is still happening, and this is still reality in the global south. And that's why for me it's so important to raise voices, because we can only learn for real when we experience things, when we embody things in life. Because we can learn by reading, we can learn by many ways, but all the knowledge you have means nothing if you don't experience in your own skin. So that's why it's so important to make space, to create space from people from the global south, indigenous people, indigenous voices, to speak. Especially because indigenous people never forgot about their inner wisdom. They never forgot about their connection and their balance and their harmony with nature. That's why it's so important to be humble and to put yourself in a position where you can always be in the beginner's position, in the beginning's role, That's real humbleness. That's when you are really creating a space to change and to create more aligned actions for change. Look, when Europeans arrived in Latin America, we had the most wealthy empires here. We have the Incas, we have the Mayas, the Aztecas. They were empires, whole civilizations built in gold and knowledge and wisdom, all that thriving with nature. And then look what is left. So we really need to change that now. It's urgent. We don't have an option anymore. Rather we change, rather we die as humanity. We don't have an option anymore. And also Earth, the planet, doesn't need us. The planet can move on without us. We need to save ourselves. That's the truth. And by that, I mean, we need to change the systems we live in. I also would like to add here that indigenous wisdom is so pure because it sees reality as it is. Everything is connected. What happens in Brazil will affect people in Australia, will affect people in Italy, will affect people in Germany, in Africa. Everything is connected. That's the whole thing. The idea of thinking, oh, but it's so far away from me, you know, it's so like, oh, it's not real in my bubble, you know, that's the individual shift that needs to happen. People have to learn to be more empathetic. People have to learn to respect more other people, you know. We need to change the systems. And the first step is changing how you act in your everyday life and how you create connections with people and with the planet as well. You know, when I was younger, when I was a kid, I remember I loved to watch Animal Planet. And I still remember that when I was 9 years old, I had to create a presentation in school talking about climate change. And at the time, climate change was something, okay, it's going to happen, but it's like, you know, not so close. So, and I remember in that presentation, I still remember that, guys. I was 9 years old, and I remember that I said, so the ecosystem we live in is like a wall made of bricks. If you take one brick of the wall, it can still be there, right? But as you are taking bricks of this wall, eventually it will fall. And this is the same thing with our ecosystem now. We took so many bricks of this wall that everything is falling down, everything is falling apart. So the real question is like, how can we create true, authentic, respectful partnerships between governments, between people, between organizations, so we can all thrive together, people, organizations, nature, everything. That's the real question. That we need to ask ourselves as a collective if we want to survive as humanity.